Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 267 of Screw the Commute podcast. We're here with my old buddy, Howard Haller. I nicknamed him Big Dog PhD. This guy has both ends of the spectrum, which we hardly ever see anybody that's a PhD that's also a killer entrepreneur. And this guy's got both and tons of experience in both. And he's going to talk to us about real estate. We had him on before talking about commercial real estate. Now we're going to talk about residential real estate. So we'll get to him in a minute. And I hope you didn't miss episode 266. Really, we never had anybody on like this before. Diana Daphner was here, and she and her husband have a thing called intimacy retreats. And you got to take a cold shower after you listen to her episode. But it's not explicit, so don't worry. It's kid friendly, but wow. So that's episode 266. Hey, how would you like to hear your own voice here on Screw the Commute? Well, if the show has helped you out at all in your business or given you ideas to help you start a business, we want to hear about it. Go to screwthecommute.com and look for a little blue sidebar that says send a voicemail. Click on it, talk into your phone or computer, and tell me how the show has helped you. And also put your website on there so I can give you a shout out and we'll put it in a future episode of Screw the Commute. All right, let's see. Make sure you get a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. This book has saved me millions of keystrokes, and that's no exaggeration, and helped me handle customers lightning fast, which means I'm taking the money from my competitors who say, oh, we'll get back to you in a day or so. No, I get back to them as soon as humanly possible. And this tells you all the ways we use automation to do it. And while you're at it, get a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP. And it'll show you how to take us on the road. And, a lot of app developers just throw the app at you and you got to figure it out. Well, we got a video showing you and screen captures so you can do all the fancy functions in lickety-split time. All right, our sponsor. Hey, you know what? Work from home search volume is going crazy on Google because we're right in the middle of this coronavirus thing and everybody's staying at home. And I mean, I've been preaching it since 1997 when I started teaching internet marketing. So this is nothing new to me. And Screw the Commute is the reason it's called this is because I never had a job. I always worked out of my home. And homeschooling is going to be a bigger trend. And we have a school and a mentor program, which I'll tell you about later, that teaches you how to do this. So you're not stuck out there with people sneezing all over you and scared to death to go to work. So the school is imtcva.org. Dr. Haller has had a big influence on it and helped me get it started, and really appreciate all his help there. But anyway, this can change your life and let you bring in an income from home legitimately. Also, you can legitimately attend school from home, which is critical nowadays with the way colleges and universities are ripping you off. And we even have a quiz to show you the 7 college ripoffs. So anyway, it's imtcva.org. And just let me know if you'd like to discuss your future. And guess what? It's one of the best legacy gifts you could ever give your kids or your grandchildren is getting them these skills so that they're not getting an MBA and competing for jobs at Starbucks. All right, let's get to the main event. Dr. Howard Haller, I call him Big Dog PhD, he found his first off-market property at age 22, and it changed his life and made it possible for him to buy his first house at a substantial discount, and it was in a great neighborhood. And he could have never afforded it had he not known what he's going to tell you today. And with his help, you too can find secret off-market properties, secure them, and profit from them. So, Big Dog, are you ready to screw the Commute?
I am.
All right, man. How you been?
I am fantastic and Doing better.
You hunk and doing better than fantastic. That's double fantastic. And you're hunkering down there in California or somewhere out there.
We're in Washington tonight.
Washington, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's even worse, or just about as worse. So,
but we're on the east side of Washington, where it's near Idaho, so we're not in Seattle.
Oh, okay, good.
I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to be there. You're too important to me to have you over there. So tell everybody about the. I don't remember what episode it was, but anybody interested in commercial real estate should absolutely go back and listen to. Big Dog's last episode. I don't remember what number it was, but it was really eye-opening. But now he's coming out with residential stuff that's way cooler than, and there's so much real estate stuff out there, and everybody is a guru giving you all this BS. And yeah, well, this guy has really done it to high levels for many, many years and consulted on thousands of transactions. So I wouldn't have one of those scammers on here. So tell them about what you're doing, man.
Okay. I am sick and tired of exactly what you're talking about. Those ripoff artists who suck you in with a $2,000 course. And then you get there and they pitch you a $25,000 course.
Or $50,000.
And then they upsell you for another $20,000, $50,000, $55,000. And they don't ever give you the how. They tell you why. And they don't give you how to do it. And then if you want to know more, they keep charging you more. Well, I got sick and tired of that. So I've seen it out there in the world. I have used this. And my daughter, Jennifer.
Yep.
She used this to buy a bunch of properties because this system has been around that I created. No one else on the planet has the tools that I'm going to share with my mentees, because secret off-market properties are exactly how I found my very first property. I was 22 years old, fresh out of graduate school, working for the Bank of America at their headquarters in Los Angeles, but I wanted to buy a house. So I drove a neighborhood looking for off-market properties not listed and trying to find one. And I found one that was exactly that. It actually was vacant. It was a double probate. Out of 352 houses, I narrowed it down to one I really, really wanted. Tracked down the owner and met with him. And I shared part of this story with you last time, but the bottom line is I went down to meet this guy who was a multi-millionaire. Today, he would be a billionaire. He inherited the house from his dad, and he wanted to get rid of it. And I found him. He was a highly motivated seller. He just wanted out of his hair. He wanted to give the money to his pesky little brother, and he didn't really need it. So I went down there and I put on my three-piece business suit and went down and said, okay, Mr. Shea, I talked to you on the phone. You wanted to sell it as is, where is, no reps, no warranties. Is that fair? Yes, what I want. You want to sell it quickly. Is that true? And you prefer all cash. True? Here's my offer. I'll buy it from you as is, where is, no representations, no warranties, all cash, and I'll close quickly. Well, then he goes, wow, that's exactly what I asked. Well, he never told me a price. That's the good news for me. So I said, well, here's the deal, sir. I don't know what you expected, but before I get to the price, maybe let me do something for you that will enhance this deal for you. As a buyer, the ultimate escape clause for me would be waiving the financing contingency, because if I can't get the loan, I'm out of here. I'm going to cross it off. I would respectfully request that you initial right next to where I cross it off. I don't need that contingency. I'm going to buy this one. I don't need a financing contingency. He goes, really? I said, yes. And then I said, Mr. Shea, I don't know what you expected, but this is for me. And I've been articulate and friendly and so forth, but now I changed my countenance in my face, my gestures, and my voice. Mr. Shea, I don't know what you expected. This is for me and my wife and my unborn baby, sir. My voice cracked. My eyes glistened. I said, my baby is due a month from today, sir, on April 17th. But I want a house for my baby and for me and my wife, sir. So my offer is $25,500. $555. And I shut up. Houses in that neighborhood were selling for over 100 grand at that time. So I stared him down. Waited for him to respond. He says, well, that is not exactly what I thought I was going to get in the way of price. I love your terms. No one has ever offered me a contract where they'll waive the financing contingencies, all cash, and all the rest of those things. So I figured there's three choices. He could throw this well-dressed, articulate guy who's crazy out of his office. Or two, have me, I'll get back to you, and doesn't get back to me. Or three, have me wait in the lobby. He chose number three. Wait in my lobby. He called his attorney and said, I talked to you about giving me best terms. Well, you said, as is, where is, no reps, no warranties. And this guy walks in here. He's works for the Bank of America, works for Joe Panola, who's the executive VP of the bank. And he's bright and articulate and Eagle Scout. I saw his pin. He gave me no financing contingency. He says, I couldn't recommend that because if you get stuck there, you can sue him for specific performance. And I'll take that lawsuit on and I'll sue him. He said, you're not going to have to. Thank you very much. You should call your brother because he's on the deed. If he likes it, you got a deal. Didn't hear that call. But then about 37 minutes later, and I'm praying the whole time, please, Lord, don't go for 30 grand because I can't afford it. My own father-in-law was in the backseat of the car before I made this offer. And he's with my mother-in-law. And as he passed by these big houses, which were huge, and we passed the walls that says Chevy Chase Estates, heading for the country club. He said, stop the car. I said, why? I stopped the car. I said, look at these houses. I'm a lawyer. I'm 25 years your senior. I'm a senior partner for 3M's Captain Patent Law firm, and I can't afford this neighborhood. You're 22. She's 18. You got it. Let's go home. So I said, well, all right, sure. You tell me you don't want to go see it. Is that right? He said, okay, I'll honor that request. Oh, good. We're going home. I said, no, I didn't say that. Sir, you have two choices. Get out of the car. You and your wife wait here by the wall. I'll come back and get you. I think that's preposterous, but if you don't want to see it, you don't have to. Otherwise, we get up there, you stay in the car, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And that's what they did. I took my wife up there to the car, and she's about 7 months pregnant with Jen. And she said, is my dad right? We can't afford this. And I said, your dad's right if we go in the front door and was listed with a real estate agent for $95,000. That would afford. Do you trust me? She said, of course I do. I said, don't tell them if I'm able to bag this deal until we move it and close it. In case something happens, I will never hear the end of it. I told you so. I told you so. I don't want that. So, yes, I did bag it. He brought me back in and said, well, talk to my brother, talk to my lawyer. Got a couple of quick questions for you. Can you and will you perform on all the terms of this contract? I raised my hand to the square because, yes, I am an Eagle Scout. 3 fingers to the sky. Yes, sir. Eagle Scout's honor. I can and I will perform exactly as I've explicated and spent in my contract, sir. Okay. Do you really have the money to close? And I said, yes, sir. Okay. He said, well, I'm going to make one modification. And as he's writing something down, and I'm not sure what he's doing, like raising it to $95,000, which would be crazy. I said, when we're prepared, not over 30 grand. He slides it over the page. And as I lift it up, I look at the page, and this could be agony or ecstasy. Well, it wasn't agony. He raised me $445. He raised me to $26,000 even. In $100,000 neighborhood. It appraised for $100,000. They lowered the appraisal to $89 because they knew it was being sold for $26. My first deal, number of years ago, and you know, Jen, this before she was even born.
Oh man!
I made $63,000 on my very first deal, off market, doing exactly what I'm going to be able to teach the mentees, and I'll talk to you about what's in the course.
I hope you rubbed it in. I hope you rubbed it in the face of your father-in-law.
By the way, I got him good, Tom. Here's what I did. I told my wife, I said, don't tell him Tell them that the lady across the driveway has invited us to a barbecue, and tell them to come to the house, and we'll meet him there. Well, I pulled my car in the garage because we own the house.
Right.
And so when he got out of the car, I said, well, change the venue, sir. Let's not go over to their house. Let's go over to this one. And he's looking at me like I'm a lunatic. He said, you can't go over there. It's somebody else's property. That's like breaking and entering. And he gets up there closer. I said, come with me. And there's his daughter in the kitchen making dinner. He said, you're breaking and entering. I said, no, we bought the house. He said, you can't have bought this house. I said, I did. It's mine. I have a recorded deed and I own it. And all I could do is just say, you can't do this. You can't do it. And I said, well, with all your words of negativity, I call them a nattering nabob of negativism. I did it anyhow, because it doesn't matter what other people say. This can and will work, because it worked for me. It's worked for Jen. It's worked for my mentees. That is why this is so important for me to get out to you for a fraction of the cost that those ripoff artists want to charge you. I'm not $50,000, $20,000. I'm not even 10.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for less than 2.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is that I'm going to give them everything they need. I'm going to tell them how to set up their business step by step. If you can get the EIN number and everything, open up a bank account, all the things, building a team so they don't have to do this all themselves. Going to be able to how they secure the properties and how they find them, because I have a unique way of finding these properties. And it's actually a search that I could do online. And guess what? The world, if they knew what they were doing, could do this, but they don't. And I've talked to 2 title reps who I've used this with, and they said, you're the only person on the planet who's ever turned this anomaly into reality and profitability.
Yeah, but you got to teach it. You have to teach them how to rent a pregnant girl for an afternoon.
Well, here's what I've done. I've got to show me the money and all things of financing. They've got there, and then I've got how to do a deal, how to make money on a deal you don't even own. It's wholesaling, assigning a deal. I go step by step. I have like 8 videos on exactly how to do it. And then for frosting on the cake, I give you not just 1 or 2 exit strategies of how you can profit from it. I have 7 exit strategies, which is buy, fix, and flip, buy, fix, and live in, and then hold it for 2 years and take out the money tax-free. Buy, fix, and flip, traditional. Buy, fix, and hold, traditional. Buy, fix, and flip, buy, fix, and hold, Airbnb. I also have even how to do a tax-free exchange. I have it all there to you, line by line, step by step. And under each and every video, Tom, I answer their questions personally.
Now, does this work in any state?
It works in any state.
What countries? Any other countries?
It works in the 10 provinces in Canada, because I've had mentees in Canada use it as well.
Amazing.
And I had one mentee who did it in Australia.
And give us go back to what you did with the that first house and break it down. What are some of the things that you did that you think helped seal the deal?
Well,
called him sir a lot.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, the man is my father's age. I'm 22. I'm dressed in a 3-piece business suit. I got my college graduation ring and my Eagle Scout pin on my lapel, and I'm being polite. Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay. But from a marketing perspective, because the world gets terrified about contracts. I teach you line by line exactly how to turn a contract into a marketing piece, Tom. The world doesn't use it in that context. They go, well, it's a contract. It's scary. It's not scary if you know how to do this. I put in the terms like all cash. Well, we're not paying in bananas, Tom. It's going to be cash. I never said it was mine. Did I? No. But the perception is it's all cash, and it was. It was frankly the Bank of America Employee Loans Department cash and some of mine. Okay? So it's marketing, it's doing it, being able to present yourself and having the guts to go out there and look for other properties that are not MLS listed. In no province in Canada and no state in the United States is it required at all to have a real estate broker, period. Tom, you know I've been a real estate broker
Yep.
for 30 plus years,
Yep.
a general contractor as well. So I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling them the truth. They don't need that intermediary in between them. That, as they would say in New York, a buffer. We don't need a buffer between you and the seller. How about we teach you exactly a script on how to talk to the seller, like I talk to the person I talk to, and evoke from him his wants, his needs, and then deliver it back to him.
All right, now is this work for only single family or what?
No, it actually can work for other properties because in my commercial course, I talked about how to find off-market properties as well. But for instance, as part of this program, it's focused on residential single-family dwellings. But I do have a whole module specifically dealing with duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes.
Now, is there any restriction if you do this system and get a single family that you can move out and then rent it?
No. And here's the fun part. If you buy it and do the work when you're living in it, as Jen did. Kurt, her husband, did the work, built her walk-in closet and the rest of that stuff, and she lived with no kitchen and a microwave. And they went out to dinner a lot. They didn't have kids. So not everybody wants to do that. I mean, it's only problematic when you have that 2 days when you don't have the baños, the bathroom. Okay. But that's really not a problem since they had relatives across the street. But and they stayed with them for those 2 days. But the deal is this: when you have the 30-year fixed rate financing, this is the ideal time in history. Well, we've had some ugly things happen out there. There's no time in my lifetime that I don't think ever the Federal Reserve has reduced the discount rate to the banks to zero.
Right.
That also means that interest rates are low, at historic lows. In your lifetime, in my lifetime, we have never seen them this low. I lived through Jimmy Carter and 19% home mortgages, 30-year fixed. Who can afford that? Rose's first house, she had a 14% interest before I met her. And, buying something with a single-digit low interest rate, fixing it for 30 years, you live in it for 6 months, you've complied with the rules, and then you can go ahead and rent it out, as Jennifer did. You can live in it for 2 years, 2 of the last 5 years, and take 100% of your profits out tax-free. These are all great tricks. You could buy it, fix it, get a 30-year fixed rate loan, and then what Jen did is she refinanced the thing before she went out and rented it out. So she pulled all of her money back out of the deal. She paid off the Lowe's free, no payment, no interest account, and reimbursed herself for the labor and took her profit out, and then had enough 30-year fixed rate income coming in so she could rent it out and make a profit. And that's what my other mentees have done as well, with 7 different exit strategies.
Now, what would you suggest their credit score be to be able to do this stuff?
Well, here's the fun part. They don't have to have an 800 credit score. If they have a 680, they can do that. Okay. But if they don't have a 680, let me explain to you exactly what they could do to improve things. I have what I call the ABCs of credit, which I share with them in a lease with the option to purchase. If they do certain things, they can improve their credit score. Now, I go through that whole dialogue on how to do it. But if they were to go and tie up a property from a highly motivated seller, put it under a good contract, do the analysis with the analysis tools I give them so they know exactly what their repair costs are, because I have my contractor software. I also have a comprehensive deal analysis that they can share with a cash buyer step by step. They know exactly what the projected income is going to be. Then they could go and get a group of cash buyers, which I also can share them how to find them by the scores, by the hundreds, literally in the same jurisdiction that they're buying these properties. When they do that, then they can score a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 assignment fee. How many of those would you need to knock down your credit you owe on credit cards.
Right.
Would that raise your score?
Yep.
Way above 680 real quick. If you do certain things like do that, you pay all, there are 3 credit scores that everybody knows about. And I'll just give you a hint about this. 1, if you don't pay, it's a black mark. And for someone who's got a black card like you do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And 2, if you pay the payment on time, you get a star because you're a good boy or girl. And 3, if you were to pay it on time, that's a good thing too. But there's a 4th reporting score that nobody knows about. And you say, what is that?
Yeah.
If you pay the minimum payment required on time as agreed, yes, you're entitled to your 1 star.
They love you, right?
But if you pay an extra $10 or more every month, the credit bureau will receive it and say, paid as agreed with partial principal reduction. You get 2 stars. You'd kick your score up like lightning speed. So these are tips and tricks inside the course of exactly how to do all this stuff. So even if you're starting with a dismal 650, you're okay. I can show you how to get up there to be in striking range and get you to your comfort level because you're able to do it step by step. You're able to find a deal, put it under contract, secure it, and you can profit from it without even buying it. You sign the contract.
This is an amazing thing, folks, by somebody that's really done it. His kids have done it. This is no BS big seminar where, you get coerced into doing crap. I mean, even some of the biggest name people that you've ever heard of, if you look deeper, some of them aren't allowed in certain countries because they've ripped off so many people. They go to a different country. CBC had a big expose about one of the names that you would recognize. I mean, massive name, and how they said, oh, we made $42 million on this mobile home park. They went out and saw there's nothing but vacant land. They just lied. They just made it all up. So you got to be really careful with the real estate field. So this guy is the real deal. So we got to take a quick sponsor break, and we come back. We'll come back and get Big Dog Dr. Haller to tell you how to go check this out. All right. So folks, he is a mentor and has been to thousands and thousands of people in his field, and so have I in my field. And I really encourage you, no matter what you do with real estate, I always want you to have an online presence. In fact, Dr. Haller and his wife Rose have a massive online presence in multiple fields. You talk about multiple streams of income. So my mentor program kind of turned the internet marketing world on its head over 20 years ago. It's by far the longest running, most successful ever in this field, because people at my level were charging 50 or 100 grand to help you with this. And then I know a lot of these people, they would never even help you once they got their money. So I turned it on its head by allowing people in at a smaller, much smaller entry fee. And then I partnered with them to take a percentage of profits as they got more successful, but it was capped, so they weren't stuck with me forever. So for me to get my big money, they made way bigger money, and then they're off to the races. So it's about as fair as you can get, and that's why it's run for 20-some years, no lawsuits, no refunds. You'll check me out. People will be lauding all the things I've done for them. In fact, I don't know if you know this, Dr. Haller, but if you remember Ilya, who used to work for me, the little Russian kid.
Right. Yeah. He
just sold Pluto.tv, hope you're sitting down, $340 million. Last time he contacted me, he was on a yacht with a bunch of supermodels in Greece or something. So anyway, we have the real deal here. If you'd like to really have a nice lifestyle business, again, real estate on one hand, I have real estate, I have plenty of real estate, and then internet marketing on the other. You can really insulate yourself about stuff that's like happening now with these bad things that are going on in the country. So check it out, and that is at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. So Dr. Haller, tell them about where they can check this course out.
Okay.
And how, if they have questions for you, a lot of people will definitely want to ask you questions about this.
I answer all the questions that are each video, but I will tell you right now, for your people, Tom, and I got a call from one of the ladies who, Edie, who said she listened to the commercial course and she's going to be buying the course and wants to talk to me. So I've already given that number, but I'm going to give it to you right now.
Awesome.
I'm going to give you my personal cell, Tom.
Awesome. And then we'll put that in the show notes for everybody too.
818 298 0000.
That's like no money down. 0000.
No nonsense, no money down. That's right.
Awesome.
And we'll put the
how about
the
email?
link to the course in the show notes.
Questions?
And if they have questions about it, they can certainly get a hold of me. They can email me at realestatementordoc, DOC, at Gmail.
All right, real estate.
And I will answer real estate mentor doc
at gmail.com.
At Gmail, and we'll put the link for the course in the show notes.
That's awesome. Okay. So I'm excited about it too. I always get the stuff that Dr. Haller comes out with, and never, ever have been disappointed because he breaks these complex concepts down into something where anybody can understand it if they apply themselves. So thanks for coming on and bringing us up to date. The commercial course was just fantabulous, and I can't wait to see this residential one.
Thank you very much, Tom. Take care and stay safe.
Oh, yeah. Stay safe out there, too. You and Rose. All right, everybody. That was my buddy, Big Dog PhD, Dr. Howard Haller, and showing you how the secrets behind the real secrets, not the fake secrets that they charge you a fortune for, behind the real estate world. So catch everybody on the next episode. See you later.